This is the SAU Report, a program featuring interviews with the faculty, staff, students, and alumni of Southern Arkansas University in Magnolia.
Welcome to this SAU Student Issues Forum. I'm Richard Moore.
And I'm Jennifer Lewis.
And today we're talking with Sonya Anderson, Jeff Grissom, and Tamika Gulley on several topics of interest to SAU students.
Now, Sonya, you know that everyone, when they're enrolled at SAU, has open access to an account in the computer lab that's found in Wilson. Do you feel that this computer lab offers enough, or do you feel that it needs to offer more to SAU students?
I feel that it's fine. One problem about the computer system is that some computers are slower than others. It's hard to log on. And email, there's been some problems in email. Some students send chain letters, and this backs up the email system and causes a lot of problems, and a lot of students' accounts are dropped because of this.
Were you happy when the computer staff changed the system over last summer?
Yes, it's much better.
Has it improved the speed or anything at all?
It's faster, but still some computers are still slower as you log on. But I like it, it's fine.
Jeff, give us your feelings on the computer offerings here on the SAU campus.
My main problem with the computer lab is the people that are on the chat lines and in there playing games, because it's real hard to get a computer as it is, and with the people chatting and doing recreational things, it's hard to get in there and get papers done, and you really have to go in, you know, and allow yourself about 10 or 15 minutes before you can really get a good computer.
Do you feel that there's a need for a new, more centrally located area for computers, or there's enough available at this time?
Well, I think the computer lab as it is in Wilson just needs improvement, and they need to crack down on, like I said, the recreational use.
Tamika, as you know, there's an attendance policy here at SAU. You're allowed to miss 3 classes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which equals up to a week of missed classes, and 2 classes on Tuesday and Thursday, which equals up to a week of the Tuesday and Thursday classes. Do you feel that this is a fair rule for students at SAU?
No, not really. I don't think it's exactly fair. I think that if you are paying for your own tuition, you should be allowed to miss as many classes as you would like to. You have to take responsibility. You're supposed to be an adult, so you have to learn to be an adult.
Have you had any experiences with any of your professors where you've missed more than the 3 days on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or the 2 days on Tuesday, Thursday that have caused problems? Or
Yes, I have.
have you? Why don't you tell us about it with no names used?
I had a class, and I had a B in the class, but I received an F for my semester grade because I missed too many classes.
I think that's happened to all of us. It's happened to me too. So.
Pretty big issue here, getting a round table of opinions. This is what we're doing on the Issues Forum. Jeff, same question goes to you about the attendance policy. What have been your experiences and your feelings on this issue?
Well, I admit that I've missed my share of class, but sometimes things come up aside from school that you have to miss, and it's just up to the teacher's discretion whether it's excused or unexcused. And I feel that we all should be treated as adults, and if we can pass the class with going 2 or 3 days a semester, well, I think that we should have that opportunity. But most people cannot pass the class by just showing up when they want to, and I think that they need to really look at that policy and make some changes.
Has your professors been rather understanding about absences that you've had, especially for, like, say, you know, family business or sickness or something that was just unavoidable, one of those things of life that come along?
Most of the time the professors have, but there are still some that say even if you're on your deathbed, you know, that's still unexcusable, and I mean, it really needs to be looked at and reconsidered.
Okay, Sonya. We all know that in the dormitories here at school, visitation doesn't start at all until noon. and it's over at midnight on the weekdays and at 1 on the weekends. Do you feel that this is a fair rule?
Yes, I feel that it's fair. I feel that visitation hours, it's been discussed by students, they want longer visitation hours, such as 24-hour visitation. And I feel that some students need their privacy, and if you have a roommate who always has company and you never get your privacy, then that's creating a problem. So I think that if it comes to that, where it's 24-hour visitation, that they should respect you.
Tamika, same question. How do you feel about it?
I don't think freshmen should have 24-hour visitation, but I think it should be allowed for upperclassmen.
Kind of like as the
Privilege.
freshmen, right, okay,
It's a privilege, not a right.
okay.
Okay, Jeff, same question to you. Do you think that allowing 24-hour visitation in designated wings would help to solve this, or do you think they just ought not to have it at all anywhere?
Well, with the 24-hour visitation, I think they should have it, for the upperclassmen, in Tally. They should have it in Tally and Bussey and Talbot, but leave the freshman dorms because, there'd be way too much partying going on because they're at that breakthrough stage of just breaking away and really partying. But if people are going to have people visit their room after the hours, then they're going to do it no matter what. And I think that they should give the 24-hour visitation a look.
Okay.
See, I think that when you sign up to live in the dorms, you can request a wing or a floor. I think that it would make it a lot easier. Say, like Sonya, in your case, you're saying, what if I get a roommate and she has a boyfriend and he would be over there 24/7? Then I think you can specify that you don't want a wing with 24-hour visitation, and then you have the choice of having either or. I think that would help a lot because that way you can please both worlds. So I think that would help. What kind of safety precautions do you think Sonya should be taking if there is a 24-hour visitation?
Well, as they do right now, all males are to be escorted to the bathroom, or at all times they're to be escorted, and these rules should be followed.
Okay. Another hot topic on campus right now, and just recently, as a matter of fact, but I think it's kind of been boiling under the surface for a while, is to develop a daycare here on campus. And let's see, I guess we'll start with you, Tamika. You may have some personal knowledge of some folks that you know about have dealings with this. Do you think that having a daycare on campus would be a positive addition to SAU?
I think it would be. I know a lot of people who have kids and they aren't able to attend school because they have no one to keep their kids and they work full time. And it would be a nice addition to have a daycare that would allow them to attend classes and work or whatever. Maybe have it open from 8 to 3 or 7 to 4 or something like that. And it would also add more jobs for work study.
Jeff?
Well, I think with the daycare, like Tamika said, it would free up a lot of students who have children and allow them the same opportunities. And, it would also, like she said, give a lot more jobs out there to people who really need them. And I think that it's a good idea.
Okay. Sonya?
I know a lot of students who have children and daycare is a problem, and I want to impose this question. A lot of students, they would say, yes, we would like to have daycare here on SAU campus, but then the funding for the program, that's the question. If they say, okay, this is going to raise your activity fee, a lot of students would complain, well, maybe I don't have children, so I don't think my activity fee should rise, so that would be a problem.
Right. Tamika, do you feel that it would help if the daycare was brought to SAU campus? Do you feel that it would help if it was open at night, maybe 2 or 3 hours at night during library and computer lab hours? Do you think people would take advantage of that?
It would be a help because sometimes you don't have time during the day to study, and you might have a term paper that you have to write and type up, and you don't have time during the day because you might work or have classes, and then you have to take care of your kids at night, so that would give you some free time to get your work done.
Jeff, it's like Sonya was saying, it all sounds real good, a daycare on campus, but where does the money come from? What are your thoughts on maybe where we could get the funding for that? Do you think it should raise the fees or raise the money in some other kind of way, maybe a fundraiser, or just have the university just foot the bill itself?
Well, I do agree that there would be probably an uproar if they up fees, and they might want to look at getting donations or having fundraisers as an alternative from raising the activity fees.
Let's turn to another topic here. Let's talk about the SAU cafeteria, always in the news, day and night it seems like, and they have a new service organization, Marriott, that's been in charge of it, I believe, since the fall. And start with, I guess, you, Sonya. Do you think that the choices of food offered are sufficient in the SAU cafeteria?
Well, they are better from the last academic year. Still a lot of people complain about the food in the cafeteria, and there was a survey that came out last week about possible changes in the meal plan for the 1998-99 academic year, and it was specifying that the hours for the cafeteria would be longer, like from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., and the price would rise, but and also transfers would be cut out. There wouldn't be any more transfers. So I don't know how other students might feel about this. A few students, they said that it was okay about keeping the cafeteria open longer, but as far as cutting out transfers, they didn't like that idea.
Okay. Tamika, what are your thoughts on SAU cafeteria?
I think Marriott is a vast improvement over PFM, and the food and the quality of it and the quantity of it has improved, but it still needs more improvement.
Okay.
Okay. Sonya was just talking about transfer meals. Jeff, do you think you could explain what transfer meals are and whether you agree with them, think they're a good asset to the students at SAU?
Well, I feel that transfer meals should be kept for the students who are in need with it, and if they cut it out, it might discourage a lot of students from taking the meal plans here at SAU.
Right. And the transfer meals are where you can get up to $3, is it? They give you a budget to spend, but you can get hamburgers and stuff from upstairs instead of having to go down to the cafeteria. Right.
I also, if they open the cafeteria for longer hours, would the food improve more? Would it be warm, or will the quality decrease? That's another question.
Right.
Well,
Jeff, does the Mule Rider Grill located in the cafeteria meet up to your expectations?
Well, during the rush times, around noon and around 5 o'clock, I wouldn't go up there because normally there's 1 or 2 workers. It's pretty slow. There's a line nearly going out the door. And about the best time to eat is in the off times when there's nobody there. But I think if they had an equipped staff and they could keep their food up to par, keep enough of the products in, because normally they're out of just about everything but hamburgers and chicken sandwiches. But they might need to look into, going a different route with that and getting better quality food and better service.
Well, Sonya, is the service in general in the cafeteria adequate, and does it meet your expectations?
well, it's like I said, it's better than it was the last academic year, but it still needs some improvements.
Are the workers themselves good?
Yeah, I would say so. There are a lot of student workers in the cafeteria, and most are friendly, and that helps. Good attitude.
Well, the dormitories here at SAU, they house a majority of the students. And Tamika, what are some assets that you have found in the dorms?
Well, when I was living in the dorms, I met a lot of people. I became friends with a lot of people from places that I've never been and from places around Arkansas. And it's quick access to everything on campus. You don't have to worry about parking. You don't have to worry about being late for your class if you leave 5 minutes until it's time for your class to start. It's likable.
Likeable. You can manage, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeff, what do you feel about sharing a bathroom with other people on your wing? I know you don't live in the dorms anymore, but you did for a year.
Well, I never had a real problem with having to get in the bathroom, using the shower or anything, and I know it's different for the guys because they are pretty much, quicker as far as getting in the shower and getting ready, But I think that, the showers are fine as long as they can keep shower curtains on the showers, because I kind of like some privacy whenever I'm taking a shower, but I think that in general the showers are okay.
Same to you, Sonya.
I feel that they're okay, but I feel that in the women's dormitories, such as Bussy, that they need more showers. There are 2 showers and 2 bathtubs, and a lot of people prefer one shower over the other, and
Water pressure.
yeah, and a lot of people
There.
don't use the bathtub. So I think that if they would get rid of, maybe have one bathtub and put in more showers, it'll be a lot better.
Sonya, one of the big issues of Board Member Lang Jean on the SAU Board of Trustees, the Mayor of Magnolia, is the condition of the dorms here at SAU, many of which are approaching 30 years old, especially Graham Hall near the baseball field. Do you agree with his assessment that there needs to be something done with the dorms, a new remodeling project or possibly even some new dorms to be built in the not too distant future?
Yes, I do. For instance, they need to be renovated so that people with handicaps, people who are disabled, it would be better for them, such as like maybe doors, the automatic doors in the dorms for them, and all the doors in the dorms in general, automatic doors for them, people who are in wheelchairs.
Tamika, same question to you about the possibility of getting the dorms renovated sometimes soon. Do you feel this needs to be done?
Yeah, it needs to be done. They've done a few renovations in some of the dorms. I know in Harriet, they have some new bed frames and some new mattresses, and I think they have some in Tally and maybe in Talbot also. And they've done some painting to some of the walls and things like that, but they still need more improvement or new dorms.
I know I lived in the dorms for 4 years, so I understand. But a big issue when I lived in the dorms was getting a coin machine. So, Sonya, you think you could tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think the dormitories need coin machines. A lot of people, they do their laundry late, and most people go to the library to get access of change, and they wouldn't say that the library is closed. That if there were coin machines in the dorms, they would have easy access.
And to make it even harder, they only take quarters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
The RAs usually are supposed to keep a change bag, but sometimes you can't ever catch up with an RA, and when you do, they hardly ever have change.
Moving right along here to another issue, parking. Jeff, have you ever had any trouble with parking on campus? And if so, which lot and when does it seem to be the worst?
Well, if you arrive at school for an 8 o'clock class, you can pretty much get a good parking. But if you've got a 9 or 10 o'clock, you get ready to show up 15 minutes early just to drive around and hope you can catch somebody backing out or such. But going back to the living on campus and the housing, if that's another advantage is you don't have to worry about parking. And you know, I know they've opened up like the skating rink for parking, but if you've got a class, you know, in the art building or like that, and you're parking way by the skating rink, you know, that's a pretty good walk. But you know, I think they could do more for the parking situation. There's a lot of free space on campus.
Do any of y'all have any suggestions on how the administration might improve the parking situation? Especially, I think the enrollment's starting to tick up just a little bit, and so it'll probably just get worse and worse. And, what are some of y'all's suggestions?
Well, they made some improvements this past semester. They put in a parking lot behind Harriet Hall, and it's opened up some spaces. And parking is not quite as crowded. It's not as bad as it usually is, but they still need more parking lots.
I know a big issue with some students is that all of the people that work in the offices and stuff have all of these reserved parkings. Well, it's been said, why not when you enroll, if you have a car, you get a reserved parking spot. You know, everybody has an assigned spot. That would make sense. You know, you may have to walk a little ways, but you would know exactly where you had to go every day, and it would keep you from being so late to class sometimes. So that would help. How about spring fling, Jeff? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Spring fling, normally there's a lot of excitement on campus, and there's always, you know, a lot going on. And with the students here at SAU, there's normally not a lot offered. A lot of activities, good fun activities. Spring fling brings in a lot of creative things. Like last year, they had the little booth set up where you can make your own video, and I know the Phi Lambda Chi had their car bash. You know, you get a sledgehammer and beat on a car, and there's just a lot of excitement there, and I hope spring fling's even better this year.
Sonya, what do you think about it?
The spring fling, it was fun since I was a freshman last year, and it was the time for everybody to sign their papers for the new dormitories, and they had the fun flicks, and a lot of people, it was fun watching them, and they gave away little, you know, pins and stuff like that, so it was nice.
Tamika, what have been some of your experiences with the spring fling?
Well, I like spring fling, and I think it's a great activity that occurs every spring on SAU campus. And they have a lot of games, and this past spring they had a virtual reality roller coaster thing, and they have the fun flicks and face painting. They have all different types of food and drinks, and you can win like door prizes. You can win a free private room and things like that. And I think it's a great activity that occurs.
Another big activity on campus is the annual Mardi Gras celebration. It's just concluded here a couple of weeks ago. Sonya, what have been your experiences with the Mardi Gras?
Well, I'm not experienced with the Mardi Gras, so.
Okay. Any of y'all have experience with Mardi Gras?
When I came here in '95, the Mardi Gras was very good. It was a real big thing on campus, and they had a big spread, and it was very good, but it has went down in the past years.
I think it's just really hard to get students involved in things on campus at this school. It's what people call a suitcase college. Pack it up and go home. So, Jeff, intramural softball is about to get ready to start. Can you tell us anything about that?
Well, I played, last year was my first year to play intramural softball, but I've played some of the other sports, and I think it really offers, you know, an opportunity for people to get out there and play, you know, have fun, fellowship, and the competition gets hot and heavy, I know, especially between some of the fraternities, competing, you know, bragging rights, etc. But everybody's looking forward to softball this year, and intramurals and all. I think it's going great on this campus, and I think they should keep it up.
They also have, what, flag football, and what all else do they have?
I know they have basketball, flag football. They have a three-point contest. I think they even do ping pong, tennis, just about any sport you can think of. You know, they have it out there, and just look for it coming, jump
Yeah.
on.
I think that's a pretty good opportunity for people that aren't exactly good enough to be on the SAU team, but aren't bad enough to where they have to sit all the time.
Exactly.
Tamika, do you feel that of course, with the rising crime rates around the area, a lot of students have been concerned, especially female students, about the safety on campus, and especially at night. And I believe the administration had some improvements in lighting here lately to help solve that problem, and also they instituted an escort service with the SAU PD. Do you feel that the security on campus at night is adequate, or just the police department is adequate in general?
Well, I think that I've been here for 3 years. I'm a junior now, and I didn't know we had an escort service. I think more students should be made aware of that fact, and then it would be used more often. And there are some areas around campus that are very dark, and like when you're walking from Harrod to the library or from Bussey to the computer lab, there's some dark areas that I know some females they walk the long way around instead of taking a shortcut so they can go through well-lit areas.
Sonya?
Well, I know a few people. I personally haven't used this service, but I know of some people who have used it, and I think it's pretty good. And the campus security, they would either come pick you up or they would walk you to your destination. So I think it's great.
What would y'all think if SAU students, like males, had the opportunity to work with this escort service at night, say on work study, so that women wouldn't have to walk from Harrod to the library or whatever by themselves? Jeff, how do you feel about that?
I think that'd be a real good idea. Like I said, it'd bring opportunities for people to make money, you know, as well as help out somebody. And I think for these escorts, they need to interview them and not just have it open to anybody. They need to interview them, because I'd hate for it to turn into a disaster of getting somebody who, you know, was only in it for bad intentions. But I think it'd be a good idea.
Tamika, how would you feel about that? Would you feel safe with a student if their background was checked thoroughly? Would you feel safe with a student walking you somewhere?
I would feel safe with them if I knew the process that they go through to get hired for their job, and I knew that the people who hired them had thoroughly checked them out. I would probably feel safe, and I think it's a good idea.
Sonya, one of the issues that's come to light recently is the possibility of making some renovations to Wilson, especially with I believe they had a water leak, or water line break a few days ago, flooding one of the professor's offices downstairs. What are some of your feelings on if this was to come to pass, some renovations on Wilson? What do you believe should be done?
Well, Wilson, once again, they need to be more equipped for those people with disabilities. For instance, the bathrooms that are like double doors, they should be automatic doors, and the water fountains should have higher pressure. You almost have to put your mouth on the fountain to get water, so the pressure needs to be built up some, and those are some of the renovations that Wilson Hall needs.
I would like to thank our guests today for joining us, Jeff Grissom, Sonya Anderson, and Tamika Gulley. This has been a University Student Issue Forum. I'm Jennifer Lewis.
And I'm Richard Moore. Thanks for watching.
The SAU Report is a production of broadcast journalism students in the Department of Theater and Mass Communication at Southern Arkansas University in Magnolia.